This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you very much. First thing we will do is we will take roll call. Committee Member Potts,
Present.
Committee Member Bruflat,
Present.
Committee Member Bergman,
Present.
Committee Member Oviatt.
Present.
And let the record show that members Latinsky, Douglas, and Metzen have not joined us for tonight's meeting. The first item on the agenda is a call to order, which I've done. Is there any motion to approve the agenda or questions on the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda. Potts?
Is there a second? We have a motion by Potts, a second by Bruflat to approve the agenda as presented. I will call the roll call. Committee Member Potts.
Aye.
Committee Member Bruflat.
Aye.
Committee Member Bergman.
Aye.
Committee Member Oviatt.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We only have the minutes of the 31st meeting in there, and we don't have the minutes of the small special meeting we had. So we'll have those at our next meeting. Would anyone move? They are?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, it is. It's on the end of it, continuation of that same meeting.
Yeah.
That is it. Would anyone move approval of the minutes as presented?
Bergman approves.
We have a motion by
Oviatt.
Bergman. Brian, did you second that?
Yep. Oviatt
Okay.
second.
We have a motion by Bergman, seconded by Oviatt to approve the minutes of the March 31, 2020 meeting of the HPC as presented. I will call the roll. Committee Member Bruflat.
Aye.
Committee Member Bergman.
Aye.
Committee Member Oviatt.
Aye.
Committee Member Potts.
Aye.
Thank you. We have no unfinished business. Under new business, Mike Sweeten from Extra Innings, he's got his final piece in front of you. As you'll recall, you approved previously the alteration to remove the cedar shake shingles and then to establish the awning and the signage. Brian is looking for approval to establish a sandwich board sign. I've included the artwork on page 6. It would be. It's a very simple chalkboard in a cherry wood frame. It would meet all of the requirements as to the maximum size, and he would be required to pay the appropriate $50 sign permit fee if you would give your approval. I have no objections, and I would recommend that you provide the approval as requested. I will go through and see if you have comments, questions, or a statement you would like to make, and we'll start with Committee Member Bergman.
I approve it.
Okay, Committee Member Oviatt.
I approve it.
And Committee Member Potts.
Yeah, it looks pretty good to me.
Okay, and that leaves Committee Member Bruflat. Oh, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you, Terry?
Yeah. Do you know how many of these sandwich boards we have on the main stretch on Minnesota Avenue now? I mean, we must have approved about a half a dozen at least.
Yeah, and I think in total there's probably about 18 that have been approved over the years.
Okay. So yeah. So you don't see it as an obstruction of walking issue? I mean, we do have a lot of.
Yeah, we're blessed. 169 has quite a wide right of way, so we've got a wide sidewalk. So the obligation is that they maintain at least 5-foot clearance to maintain the appropriate heritage preserve, handicapped accessibility around the sign. So
Okay. Then I'm
Committee Member Bruflat, did you have comments?
I think it looks really nice. It's nice and simple, so I have no problem with it.
Would any of the members be willing to make a motion of approval?
Bruflat.
I'll go with Emily Bruflat for the motion. Larry, is that a second?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion by Bruflat, seconded by Potts to approve the sign as submitted. I will go through one more time and ask if there's any discussion, and got a small enough group, just go ahead and add something if you've got something to say. If I don't hear anything, we'll call the roll here in a moment. Hearing none. All in favor, or motion is to approve as presented. Committee Member Bergman, yay or nay?
Aye.
Committee Member Oviatt,
Aye.
Committee Member Potts,
Aye.
Committee Member Bruflot.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. The second item of new business is Aero Ace Hardware on the north wall of their building, and there are two pieces of artwork that are submitted for your review. The first on page 9 would be the existing Aero Ace Hardware sign. And then on the following page is a rendering of what Dave Nyman, the owner of Ace Hardware, would like to change out his sign. We would not approve this, or I would recommend you don't approve this if it was a brand new sign to be painted on brick. But the standards are essentially, if there is paint on brick, it's better to keep it painted than to try to remove it through a chemical peel or a sandblasting. Then that would damage the patina of the brickwork. This is about the third time, I believe, that he's had it repainted in my 19-year tenure, and he has been given approval to change the design from time to time. On the rendering of what he would propose, you'll see the 5 logos. That would be fine, similar to the old sign, or the sign Patrick's has on the side of the Govey Striff building. So as long as he is a vendor of those products, that would be appropriate for him to have those on the sign. I will go through individually and ask if there's questions, comments, or concerns, and we'll start with Committee Member Oviatt.
Yeah, my concern is that I do have concerns. My concern is that it's too busy with the additional things he's selling there, whereas the spirit of the old sign is the name of his business only, and not. It's just too dang busy.
Okay.
It's I guess is my point, and I'd like to see it just be their logo and some simple message.
So maybe their logo, the Aero Hardware and Paint logo, along with the expert service quality products, convenient, and then allow the free parking behind the store. Just remove the 5 individual product identification.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have anything to add other than that, Brian?
Nope.
And next, I would ask Committee Member Potts. You concerns, questions? If you want to challenge Brian or support what Brian has said.
Well, yeah, I had some reservations about the small signs too, and the individual product manufacturers. But it occurs to me that probably that's Dave Nyman's way to pay for the repainting of that sign, right? He'd be getting advertising revenue from those guys. So yeah, they're a little bit big. If they were smaller, they wouldn't attract as much attention, and that defeats the purpose, kind of. I guess I'd be okay with keeping them there. The sign needs to be repainted pretty clearly. I was down there taking a look at it, and I don't think it'd be allowed to deteriorate any further. So I guess I'd go along with leaving them there, but I wouldn't fight the other position either. I don't feel that strongly about it.
Thank you, Larry. Committee Member Bruflot.
I think that it maybe looks busy because it's so asymmetrical. I think there's like the imbalance of having those 5 logos down the side just looks a little off to me. What if the Aero Hardware and Paint was more centered and those 5 bars were across the bottom? I think that might look better, more balanced, and less busy. And then he can figure out a place to put those other words. But even if, since it's such a wide area, he could have expert service, quality products, convenient, all on the same line with some space between each. I just think that there's a way to make it symmetrical and make it look a little bit less busy, but keep the logos.
That's what I was looking for, with the inclusion of the 5 logos.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add, Emily?
Along with Larry, I don't really have strong feelings either way. So yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
Thank you very much. Committee Member Bergerman.
I just soon not see the logos on there, but I'm not going to fight it either. But to me, it's like free advertisement for those companies.
Mhm.
The main advertisement was for the hardware store. And that's what I thought it should stay, but that's my opinion.
Okay.
And I'll say it goes back to the existing ghost signs and whatnot that are down there, the old Occidental Flower and some of the other signs that are they're ghosted and painted on the wall are more of a more simple context. And I think with all this writing and logos and all this stuff, it takes away from the historic nature of the sign. If you look at the existing sign, very appropriate for the area. Whereas, and if you want to change the logo, that's fine. But when you busy it up with all these words and extra colors and everything along there, I think it takes it out of the historic context of what we're trying to achieve downtown. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you all. Anyone else have anything else to add?
I guess I'd like to say that I like Emily's suggestion. I think it's a compromise, and I think it would look better. I agree with that. And this idea that somehow, and I don't think there's any case to be made that 100 years ago, the signs that were down there were only for businesses. Remember, they were for things like chewing tobacco and flour,
Sure.
and, I don't know, horse collars or whatever, but they were actually manufacturing items that were being advertised. So, I don't think the historical purity is really an issue here.
Yep. In the
Just my
upstairs of
opinion.
in the upstairs of Riley Tanis, but where Paul put his office, when they took down part of the wall, they found a battle axe chewing tobacco painted sign. That's very nice, was well preserved. It didn't fade because they put the building up next to it. So
Oh, yeah.
looks very, very nice, but we wouldn't let them repaint that because it wasn't permitted in the first place. So would anyone want to take a shot at making a motion?
I'll make a motion, Bergman.
Okay, and your motion, Terry, would be?
If they could do like Emily said, put it across so it isn't like the highlight of the whole thing, then I'd be happy with it.
So may I suggest that the motion is to reappropriate the 5 individual logo signs to the lower part of the sign, to center the arrow hardware and paint, and then to put in the expert service, quality products, and convenience. So it's of an appropriate scale and balance. Is that enough?
Yeah, that'd be more. Yep.
Did you get that, Cindy? Well, you're gonna have to listen to the tape. Okay, was there a second to Terry's motion or any clarification to the motion?
Bruflat will second.
We have a motion and a second, and I won't go through all that, but I guess I understand what you mean. I'll ask David to come up with some revised artwork and bring it past me.
Can I ask one more question?
Yep.
And it's not necessarily pertinent to the motion, but I forgot to ask it earlier. The new sign will be exactly the same size as the old sign. Is that correct?
Yeah, he would not be able to enlarge it at all.
Yeah,
I don't believe he wants to smaller.
It's bounded by brick structures on the wall, and so I figured it wouldn't be, but I just wanted to double check. So that's my understanding and everybody's understanding.
Sure. Is there any further discussion on the motion? If not, I will call the roll call. Committee member Oviatt.
Nay.
Committee member Potts.
Aye.
Committee member Bruflat.
Aye.
Committee member Bergman.
Aye.
Okay, the motion would carry on a 3-to-1 vote. Olita Gifts, she's not open, obviously. I have identified and worked with her to identify some gooseneck lighting that is solar powered. So she's going to be working on that, and we'll get her open. I'm working on her loan right now that she's applying for the micro loan, so I'm in touch with her pretty regularly. But she's kind of heartbroken, like a lot of people are, especially being so very new.
Yeah.
The businesses that have a couple decades underneath them, feel somewhat confident, but I had one of them that said, if I'd been in my first 2-3 years, there's no way I could survive this. So, but we're going to do what we can.
Good.
That's what I had under reports. Are there questions from the board? If not, I didn't anticipate much of a long meeting. So if someone would be inclined to make a motion to adjourn.
Bruflat so moves.
Is there a second?
Bergman second.
Motion by Bruflat, seconded by Bergman to adjourn. I need to call roll. Committee member Potts,
Aye.
committee member Bruflat,
Aye.
committee member Bergman,
Aye.
committee member Oviatt.
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Have a nice evening. Stay safe, stay well. As Mr. Prafke says, what's he say? Be positive, test negative, I think it is.
Good, good.
So everybody have a good afternoon or evening. Stay safe and take care of yourself.
Okay, see
So
ya.
we're gonna have this type of meeting next month?
Yeah, unless the governor lifts the emergency order. Once the governor lifts
okay.
the emergency order, then we cannot meet remotely again. We'll have to come to face to face. Unfortunately, for you guys, you'll have to see my face. Well, I guess you're seeing my face. But I can do a cardboard rendering or something next time. But yeah, I think the governor's order extended it now to May 15th, not the closures, but the emergency order, which then gave him the power to pass the executive orders to close the businesses. So yeah, we will keep you informed, but it seems to be working out okay. I don't know about the callers, if they feel that they're fully engaged in the meeting. Larry and I went through a 2.5-hour Board of Zoning Appeals meeting last Thursday. So I have both the longest meeting in city history, and I also have the largest attendance with the 55. So I think I'm something special.
Wow.
You all have a great evening. Cindy, you can stop the recording now.